Denying all natures, especially human nature, and denying them a definite purpose, refusing to place the main purpose of reason in knowledge rather than in action, these are the major betrayals that divert today's cultures from their mission. Other deviations ensue, of which egalitarianism represents the worst, according to Professor Warren Murray. We end up there because denying that all beings have their own nature invites to minimize their differences. Reason progresses from the similar to the different. It grasps first similitudes between things and then their differences. To conceive of their essence is then to discover first what they are related to, then what distinguishes them from it. To deny their respective natures suppresses this path towards the difference and deprives reason of its perfection, which lies in precision. Everything then seems fundamentally identical. As presented, the theory of evolution exaggerates in this direction because it assumes to all living beings the same basic essence, distinguished only in degrees. It recognizes only superficial differences to empower chance to make things more from one lifestyle to move from one lifestyle to another, as from one accident to another, from one color to another, not as from one species to another. Democracy does the same. It erases differences, abolishes classes, no more nobles, all citizens, no more races, all humans. The Industrial Revolution also does it by multiplying life situations. One is born poor, becomes a millionaire, takes place among the powerful, falls, and a change seems possible. The egalitarian mentality confounds all living beings. It credits the monkey and the dolphin with an intelligence, then extends intelligence with feelings to all animals and to plants. The egalitarian is never satisfied. He now imagines that some rocks have memory. He confuses intelligence, imagination, and memory. As man has rights, the egalitarian grants some to animals, then to plants, possibly to minerals, planets, the environment, the universe. Getting to this point requires a lot of confusion between things as well as between words and their meanings. That often different realities have the same name makes it considered that they are the same reality. Comes also from egalitarianism the more and more diffused idea that all cultures are equal, all literatures, music, languages. We frown if we hear a language described as primitive, even with its poor 3,000 words, even if it counts only until 5, one language is worth any other. Those who speak Ichibemba in Zambia, for example, count in English because the names of numbers in Bemba are so long that impossible to manipulate in computational operations. But it is forbidden to see there an inferiority of Bemba on English. Nor is there any question of one language giving a better service than another to philosophy. Greek and Latin are denied any advantage in this respect over the other languages of the time. The most renowned scholars seek to assimilate the square to the circle, the straight line to the curve, and to erase their essential differences. Evolution makes all living people come from the same source. Democracy considers itself the only regime capable of justice because it considers everybody equal in the state. The Protestant Reformation required that all in the church should be equal and exercise the same function. Moderns do not refuse all diversity, of course. However, they only accept any on the condition of finding it in the same nature. Anyway, the egalitarian does not maintain coherence to the point of applying this universal equality to everything and everyone. Every egalitarian society suffers from a dictator or a minority that enslaves all people and resources. Communism illustrated this perfectly. Lenin, then Stalin, replaced the Tsar to put an end to his injustices, but in the name of equality, they massacred more people than all the Tsars combined. Mao Zedong did even worse in China. Plato, on the contrary, exhorts to stand guard against similarities, the worst occasion of error, according to him. Aristotle, enumerating dialectical tools, adds to the search for similarities the discernment of differences, with a view to a more advanced progress, and even the discernment of homonyms. The resemblance between things makes us give them the same name. We must therefore remain careful to discern, under the same name, things of partially different essences, because the most frequent cause of error comes from spontaneously lending the same essence to things of the same name. Reason begins fond of similarities. Even if these are incomplete, superficial, reason finds them enough to justify a same name. Confusion of different realities harms not only speculative intelligence's perfection, but also life in society. There is an important hierarchical difference inscribed in the nature of beings, which calls for the imperfection of one to be compensated by the perfection of another. The same is true in society, but the social consequence of egalitarianism is the destruction of this hierarchy essential to the perfection of society as well as that of intelligence. Otherwise, all disciplines are given as equal. The soccer or hockey player is seen as important as the philosopher, is even applauded and paid more, warranted the better life. Entomology is likewise recognized as wisdom on the same footing as metaphysics.